you saw a change happen in the
Yeah,
music industry largely. And this is not watching a change happen through the media landscape or through the labels landscape. It was through your you're watching it with your own eyes and your own
that's
experience
what we're
and
seeing.
relationships. So yeah, tell me
Yeah.
about that.
Being born in 1976 is a very unique transition with regards to hip hop. So born in 76, I say about to 1980, 84. I think the first hip hop song came out in 84, right? You got start hearing it every once in a while, but from my birth until about 8 years old, which would be 84, it was only R&B, strictly R&B or gospel music, right? One of the two. It's the only thing we heard played. Then hip hop came out. When hip hop came out, it's a very genuine, honest musical craft, right? It was a culture. So we had the breakdance, we had the hip hop, we had the DJing, we had MCing. Those are four things of hip hop, right? MC and DJ kind of get correlated, but to me, they're different things. Anyway, so those four. And it was an expression from us in the inner city. That's all it was. Us being able to express ourselves in a very creative way. And so the first MCs, my uncle was the first MC, my uncles were DJs, so I got to see them. And we never it was never any drugs or violence. It was you were talking cool about how you get girls and stuff like that, but it was never to the level what you're seeing now, the hypersexuality we're seeing now. It wasn't even there. Drugs weren't even really because drugs didn't really hit. They started hitting, but they didn't hit to like 86, 87, 88, 89. That's when the crack and all that stuff really crushed. And that's when you start seeing the change. But even then, we had like songs by all the MCs, self destruction, to denouncing, drugs, and you had guys denounce like Ice-T with his Color song denouncing gang violence. So we had a lot of poor righteous teachers, KRS One. So we had a lot of people saying, no, that's not the way to go, right? That was a sentiment. And if guys did live the street life, it was like they were just telling their story. It wasn't like to exemplify it. Because we talked to them like, nah, I don't want you doing what I did. The reason I made this record was to let you know I just did 10 years of state print. You know what I'm saying? So it was never that. It was never like that. Then it started getting then it started getting more and more violent, right? I'm like, okay, but we still had other groups, right? That we could choose from. Other genres you could choose from. The thing was like 2001, that's when I saw the big split. When it's like, okay, no more conscious music. There's no more conscious rappers. No one talking about society. No one talking about uplifting society. No one does not exist. Go back to 2001 and point out one person that was a conscious rapper that was in the top 10 Billboard. Didn't exist. Does not exist. Right.
Mm,
That was by design.
mm.
Without question, that was by design. And that was by the A&Rs because that's what sells. That's what was the biggest grossing sell. No one wants to hear about you uplifting or changing your life. Nobody wants to hear about that. They want to hear about the gangster rhyme or feel this guy's gangster energy or persona, and they want to live vicariously through that. So that's what started happening. Now it's gotten to the point, if you fast forward from 2001 to 2024, I don't even listen to I stopped listening to hip hop lyrics because I realized that it's very subliminal messaging. I listen only to instrumentals. I don't listen to any more lyrics. I protect my sanity, right? Don't listen to it. Now, when I peek into the hip hop, it's not, to me, it's not even hip hop anymore. As a hip hop head, this is not hip hop. This is corporate music. That's the best way to describe it. It's all corporate music because everyone wants to sound like everyone else. The same messaging. The kids are ultra violent for no reason. You got kids going to grave sites and making videos. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing as a society? No one is raising their hand outside of me or you or a couple of people raising their hand and say, okay, young man, you can't do that. Little bro, come here, little bro. Let me holler at you real quick. When I was an assistant strength coach at a college, it was an HBCU, historically black college, the kids, they magnetized to me. I told them, hey, man, I'm from Miami. You look at me, you from Miami? I said, yeah, I'm from the same place you from. And that's our name in schools. You went to that school? Yeah, I carry myself in a different way. I am around the streets. I'm from that, but I'm not that. Like, well, how do you do that? I choose not to be that. So there's not enough of that in the industry to make the change. Because if they're making millions and billions of dollars, what is going to cause them to change?
It's usually quite the opposite, actually, right? I think if I remember correctly, in the early 2000s, Jay-Z released, is it the Black Album? I think it's the Black Album. He actually says one of his lyrics, lyrically, I be equivalent, basically like Talib Kweli, but
Yeah,
as soon as I changed my lyrics from being depth, right? Because, you know, Talib Kweli is like known for having hyper depth
hmm,
meaning, right? Who's probably one of the greatest or largest, I would say, r- he's done so well at staying underground. And that's pretty much
yeah,
what Jay-Z's point was that as soon as he dumbed down, for his audience, he made millions of
trillion.
dollars. And,
Yeah, he made it
he, and
from
then that's when his company exploded and his music exploded. And he even said that, right? Like, I haven't been rhyming like common sense, right? But I just made 5 mil. So,
ever since I started making common sense. I haven't been rhyming like common sense. Yeah.
exactly, right?
So all I'm saying, so if you want hip hop to come back, hip hop, you're gonna have to have variety because that's what hip hop was predicated on. If Quentin had a style from Chino Hills, I'm gonna look at your style and I'm like, yo, that dude's ill from Chino Hills, but that's Quentin's style. Now I need to cultivate my style to rival yours, and like my style is doper than yours. That's all it was. If you had kids from the Bronx, they're going out of Brooklyn. I'm letting you know the Bronx is iller than Brooklyn. That's what the bridge is over. That's all it was. My style in the Bronx, our styles in the Bronx, and we got different styles. You had Fat Joe, you had Lord Finesse, you had all the different MCs from there, but they held their own individual style, but they represented the Bronx. Now you need to have that. Then you had different guys. You had guys like Fat Joe that talked the street shit, but then you had Lord Finesse that would talk really lyrical, punchline, cool stuff, make you laugh. You had KRS One that was talking about knowledge, because knowledge reigns supreme over everyone. That's what his whole name, his moniker is. That's it. You had guys like Nas who were very poetic, intellectual guys. They weren't gangster. They were just telling. He was a kid looking out the window and tell you what's going on.
Yeah, yeah,
You see what I'm saying? You had guys like Big
yeah.
Daddy Kane. So you had variety. You had MC Light, who was a female that was really lyrical, but she also had a lot of creativity and knowledge in her stuff. Or righteous
Mm.
teachers. They were 5%ers. So you had a vast variety of MCs. So you could pick and choose, man, this is the collective of hip hop, not just one genre that's getting typecast, same beat, same tempo, same word flow, it's just over and over and over and over. That's not hip hop.
Mm.
That's not hip hop at all.
What's going on, guys? If you like that clip right there, you will love the full interview. You can check that out right there. I'll see you on the next video. Oh, and subscribe because we got a lot of big things coming up in the near future.